Okay, let me talk to you for a minute about what's going on in the world of tech. I mean, what's really going on, because whether you've been following the trends, whether you've been following the news or not, you've probably noticed something changing when it really comes down to it. Um, you're seeing big layoffs from big companies, big corporations who are trimming the fat, as they say. Teams getting left in the dust. And if you're anything like me, you might look at this and think, man, if even the people who are already in the industry are getting pushed out and set to the side, what are the chances that you or I could have anything to do with it, right? But here's the truth: nobody is really talking about, my man. A lot of these layoffs were inevitable, right? Baked into the system years ago. Okay, for a long time, big tech companies were hiring in a way that didn't really make any sense. They were they were bringing in hundreds of people as butts in seats, as they say, right? Sometimes by the thousands, not because work actually was required, but really because it looked good on paper. It looked good for the industry as a whole, but most importantly, it it was for appearances to investors. Okay, investors' money would come in if they thought there was work to be done, if they thought that there was basically a real demand for what these big tech corporations were suggesting. The problem is eventually the dust settles, and then everyone realizes they don't really need that many people to run something that's already built. Okay. Best example is when we build these applications, you can basically set it and forget it. You just need to sell it. Okay. Once you sell it, unless people want more features, unless they really love it, if it works, it works. And it will continue to work with no necessary, updates, unless, of course, Google breaks it, right? If your application doesn't work on certain phones, it is what it is, right? But you can always update the application to properly work on specific phones. But let's really get back into it. Most software, again, once it is up and running, there is not necessarily that much work to be done. A tight group can maintain it just fine. Supposedly, when Elon Musk came into Twitter and knocked out what 20 to 80% of the people that were initially working there, Twitter is still functioning. Now maybe he switched that to overseas workers. We won't know for a nice little while, but in the meantime, we're going off of that premise. Um, and when companies start seeing that AI can handle repetitive tasks, well, uh, automation ensues, right? So now I'm not saying, any of that to scare you, okay? I'm actually saying that because, at this moment, there's a new door opening for you and I. As you can see, I'm here talking to you today. So, let me see. Where was I going with that? The same way those big companies, right? The same way those big companies uh realized that systems didn't really need giant teams anymore. That same reality works for you and I, right? If you can build something that stands on its own, right? Something that doesn't rely on expensive APIs or tons of daily upkeep, then you'll have a product that makes money while you go on about your life. You'll no longer need to sit around hoping somebody hires you or promotes you or sees your worth, as they say, right? You can create something with value and bring it straight to the public, straight to the people. And the cool thing is, yeah, AI did some of the work, but AI does not move unless you guide it. Okay, AI doesn't create just on a whim, right? Someone has to press the button. Okay? That's why this course exists, because right now, more than ever before, more than any other time, the people who win in tech won't be the big guys anymore, right? I mean, we have there was an application not too long ago, Vibe Coded, uh, by a young individual. I'll possibly put him over there at some point in time. Vibe Coded an app called, um, what was it called? I'll have to edit this video, but it doesn't matter. The app went viral, okay, because of the premise, because of the schema, because of the audience he was targeting. And he vibe coded it incorrectly, allowing a lot of leaked information to come out. So now from his mistake, we know not to make, but nonetheless, it was able to go viral, and it didn't have a bunch of advertisement. It was mostly word of mouth. There was advertisement, but again, it was mostly word of mouth, and then the publicity that really made the application famous. But nonetheless, that doesn't mean that you'll get those same results. But it is more probable now that one person creating can create something that the public needs or the public wants, and be compensated handsomely for that. Okay? And why not? Why not it be you? Um why not it be you? You don't have to wait for a company to give you a chance. You don't have to worry about getting laid off or replaced by placing the technology, and by placing the capability, and by placing the possibilities forever in your hands. Once you understand how to build your own tools, you can instantly upgrade your value. And your value isn't tied to a job offer. Your value will now be tied to what you actually create. So if you stay with me through the course, that's exactly what you're going to learn how to do.